I'm Brandon Roberts. Welcome to the Pike County Report. I'm here with Judge Executive Wayne T. Rutherford. And Judge, it's that time of the year again, the second time of the year actually, where we have our horse trail ride at Lick Creek. And of course, we have one in the spring. We have one this fall. Highly anticipated event around the county for our horse lovers and surrounding counties actually.
This area is the most beautiful area in this part of Kentucky. There's no doubt about it. Going back into the Fish Trap Mountain from the Lick Creek side, from what some people call the other side of Fish Trap, is absolutely beautiful. We do have more trails for people, the horse industry, to ride. And let's talk about horses. We know that we go down to Lexington and we see signs beside the road that says the horse capital of America. And that's true with the racehorse industry being with Keeneland and then Churchill Downs over at Louisville. And that's true. But if you look at the number of horses and the people who keep horses, and horses in the mountains of eastern Kentucky and central Appalachia, and especially in Pike County, you can drive up and down the creeks and hollows and you see the barns. And they have more horse shows in central Appalachia than anywhere in the country. So what this is a 69 miles back into the most beautiful, tranquil area. And you'll see the pictures today. The people of this county and that watches Pike TV will have an opportunity to see the most beautiful area. And it is, and I'm going to use this map over here, and this is Lick Creek, and that we have a park there, we have a camping area. It's not a very large camping area, but it's a camping area that has water to it. And we have a park, Pike County Park is located there. So it's a place where if they bring their children, they'll have to play before they go back into the mountain. But this trail from Lick Creek, this trail that goes all the way around this is 17.9 miles. And that day, they go back 6.2 miles to where a meal is provided for them by Pike County Physical Court and UMG. And we have volunteers here in county government that goes up on this date, that is October the 15th. And they volunteer and go up every year, and we have this annual ride, as you said, twice a year. So the fall one comes up at the time that we have the foliage. We have the changing of our leaves, and which makes it more beautiful. And they go in and eat there. But there are a lot more that the people does not know about. They have the 17.7.4 miles on the left fork of Sims Creek. Then you have 8.9 miles on the right fork of Sims Creek, and then you have 13.6 miles on Morgan's Creek. Now, at the mouth of Morgan's Creek is where we go back in, Brandon, for the 6.2 miles, and that's where the eating area has been for a number of years. Then we have 20.6 miles on the blue line, which is on AEP property, and they control and they give us permission to ride on this property. So this total of all of these here is 69 miles, the largest trail system in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Brandon, we know that we have a parking problem over there, and we appreciate Sheriff Kazee and his deputies for coming and helping us park there that day. And they'll be there, and they start arriving here I know that the flyer that we sent out, the advertisement you sent out, says 10 o'clock. But they start arriving up there about 7:30 or 8, really, and to get ready to go back into this mountain for this ride. So this is a great opportunity for the horse people to participate. Also, there will be T-shirts and other things for sale back in here during that. We give a free meal. Now, we ask for contributions, and the county employees will. If anybody wants to contribute, that money goes in a fund that's spent only on these 2 trail rides every year. So it's been very successful. It will grow in the future. We hope in the future that we can change the entrance to this to another section of this park on Fish Trap so that we can have parking. Once we get adequate parking, we see this to grow into the largest horse trail. There's no area, and we know, and our people participate in the one in Knott County, which is a very large one. But they don't have the miles of trails we have to ride that we have here. We want Knott County to grow as it has into the largest one now. And we will see this in the future grow, and they support our horse ride, we support their horse ride, and these 2 together will be the largest ones that we have in the Central Appalachian, especially in Central Appalachia and in eastern Kentucky. So this is truly, that is October the 15th. Put it on your calendar and load your horse up and load your family up. Come up to a day that you will never regret of taking part in a most beautiful area, what we call and what others call the backside of Fish Trap Reservoir, Fish Trap Lake, and Fish Trap State Park. So at a time when the foliage is changing and we have our most beautiful mountains and our trees and our hills and valleys and streams.
Well, Judge, it also seems that the county employees who twice a year work this, whether it be at the food, work at the parking, help do whatever, are very passionate about.
Oh, they're very passionate about this. They are horse people themselves. Many of them. They love to ride the horses. They love to go back in. And let me say this: the cooperation that the Corps of Engineers is, as I commend Mr. Holbrook and all of his staff. And also, we have to, that is a state park. The state, we also have to sign with the state of Kentucky, Department of Natural Resources, and we sign a contract with them every year as we have this ride. And they let us use these trails anytime other than the hunting season's going on, and certainly we don't want to get anybody shot. But when the hunting season's not going on, they allow us to advertise and to tell the horse people of this county and this area, the areas. We have people come to this ride from over in Virginia and in West Virginia, and we have it from the other counties. So we look at this to continue to grow. It is something that the physical court and the magistrates and myself have supported for a number of years, and we see this growing. It is part of our economic development of tourism, where they come into this county, they have something to do while they're here, and it will grow in the future, and it will help our economic development, economic money that comes into this county that's generated in this county.
Well, and as you said earlier, we got to get permission from the Corps to use the land, and we also really were limited in when we can actually hold it because of hunting season and things like that.
We are. We can only hold our ride when it's not hunting season. So we hope. We talked the other day about with the committee about maybe having it earlier next year, and hopefully we can do that and fit it into our schedule and make it a little bit more convenient, and to make sure that we'll stay away from the other horse shows over in West Virginia and or horse rides in West Virginia, Virginia, and in eastern Kentucky. And we hope next year we'll be able to put it at a this is a good time because you've got the foliage now, and this time in October starting to change. But hopefully we'll work with the other horse rides that's going on in Central Appalachia and try to get it at a time when we won't be in competition with each other.
And a lot of preparation as well goes into this, as far as when they go up early and clean out everything, make it.
Let me say
smooth.
that during the flood, and the people with natural resources, of course, they have their guidelines. You can't cut a tree or take anything out of the property, and they work with us, and we're glad that they do. We have a committee meeting, and they're always here. Mr. Holbrook, the Corps of Engineer, and his staff are present. And then we have the local committee that's set up and within county government. And it's a great day. And you talk about food. I don't know why, Brandon, but it tastes better when it's fixed on the outside. And you can take a hot dog or a hamburger, but this time you have the UMG baked beans and barbecue besides all the others that's provided. So, gosh, it's a lot of people look forward to this day every year in this county.
A member of your administration, I won't say his name, had about 7 photographs of him taken of him a year, the spring ride before last, and every one of them he was eating. He wouldn't let me use them. So.
Oh yeah, that's.
But the food is always.
But if they always, people has horses available to people don't have them. We have people, this ride has gone on so long now, we have some people who participated in it are now disabled. So every year we make arrangements with the Corps and with the state to be able to haul these people back 6.2 miles to where they eat and let them participate in it as they used to do on the horses, and now due to disabilities they're not able to get back in. So we take care of those people. So October the 15th they'll start coming in up there about 8:30 or 9. They eat at approximately, I think it's 12 noon, and so people mark it on your calendar, put it on your refrigerator, that the Pistrap Lake, they call it the South Lake Trail Horse Ride, sponsored by Pike County with the cooperation of Corps of Engineers and the state and UMG. And also let me say that Pepsi and Coke also participates in providing the drinks up there that day.
Yes, and Judge Hayes was mentioning too, with gas at $3.20 a gallon, why not ride a horse 12 miles? And
ride a horse 12 miles, enjoy the most beautiful scenery, the tranquil streams and the foliage changing, and it is just a great time and a great season, and fall of the year is the most beautiful year. And I know that when we was up to the Breaks Interstate Park, and Mr. O'Quinn informed us that their busiest month is October when the leaves are changing.
Well, Judge, something else that we need probably to touch on here a little bit is our blighted housing program. A friend of mine who lives in Lexington was visiting my house last night. He's from up Pinson Fork, and he says every time he comes home, he notices another dilapidated structure's been torn down. He mentioned the one behind there next to Rogers Petroleum there in particular. That program is in full swing, and we've actually got 2 scheduled this week. We've torn down 3 already for a total of 125.
Brandon, Pike County with their solid waste program, and we serve, and we are a mountainous area. We have 1,200 miles of roads, and our solid waste program that we put in many years ago. We started the county solid waste program back in the 70s. And then the county judges succeeded me. Judge Patton made it mandatory when he was judge. And that program covers Pike County. We are in a geographically challenging area of eastern Kentucky because of our creeks and hollers and mountains. And what a job that our county employees do. I think we have 46. We've had to cut that department back 8 because of lack of money in the county budget and because the coal severance tax has gone down. But what a job Mike Lyons and these foremen and these employees do of covering this county and cleaning it up. So when we came in office in 2007, one of the things that we said we wanted to do, and it would take years to do it, was to move the dilapidated or blighted housing. So what we did, we went to the National Association of Counties and we asked them to assist us in getting 3 counties in America that had been very successful in moving these houses out of their counties around it. We got one from Iowa, one from Oregon, one from another state. Then we got a hold of Kentucky Association of Counties and said, please give us 3 counties in the Commonwealth that we can look at their ordinance to remove these houses, to give the county the right to go on the property and so forth. We did not want to violate anybody's property rights. And so we started this program in 2007. We knew that it would take many years. We knew with working with the county attorney's office and with our solid waste office that we had so many. Now, why did we have so many blighted houses in Pike County? Simply because we're in Central Appalachia, and our industry had been coal, gas, and oil. And when that industry would go up and down, then people would out-migrate to the north at that time, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And they would go to Michigan and get a job in a car factory, or they would go to Toledo, Ohio, or Athens, or up north. And a lot of them would never return to their home place. They would stay up there and they would pass away up there. And you'd have nobody in the family, so you had houses, like you mentioned over in Pond Creek, in the old coal camps that had just fell in. And there are hundreds of them in this county. So what we did is we got an ordinance passed by this progressive physical court that we have that gave permission to go on to private property and to remove and place a lien on. But believe it or not, when we advertised this program, we've had more people remove a blighted house than we've had to remove in the county. 125 has been removed by owners who knew we had this program. We didn't want to put a lien on anybody's property. We only charge them what it cost us to tear it down and get it to our landfill. But we didn't want that. We wanted the people to understand they can tear their own house down in the community if they wanted to keep the property. Now, when we get this property, and now we've been into this program a few years, it's a slow-moving program because there's so many in the county, but 125 structures have been removed by property owners, and we as a county and this department has only had to remove 56, I believe it is. But so this is a great opportunity for Pike County economic development. Yes, we want to attract people here. Yes, we want to do the Hatfield and McCoy Trail. Yes, we want them to go to the horse ride. Yes, we want them to go to the state park, the Kentucky-Virginia Breaks Interstate Park. Yes, we want them to walk the Pine Mountain Trail. Yes, we want them to walk the Great American Trail that comes through Pike County. But for economic development purposes, we of course, we want them to do the historical marker tour. But on the other hand, when they go out there, we want them to see a beautiful Pike County. And we have enhanced the property that people has in these communities, because they do a great job, the people of this county does, in keeping their houses painted, keeping them up, keeping their property clean. Yet you have these blighted houses that are dotted all in these communities, and that makes your property worth more when, of course, the property is removed. And I know the largest house that we've removed is the three-story house at Henry Clay. But as we continue to go out this county, I think they got one scheduled for this week over in Blackberry. I think you told me that we'll be going over there with Magistrate Dotson and with Commissioner Lyons, and that will be gone. But I know the last one we went to was one up in the Shelby Valley area at Virgie, near Engine Creek Junction, of which we call Fruit Jar Junction, right above the Tackett's Market, with an area that needed to be cleaned up. So that one was taken out. And I know the one before was down Big Creek, right next to a beautiful church. Mm-hmm. I mean, here it was, you had a church that people has a big membership, a big attendance there, and have to come to every service and see that house next to it. And we was able to tear that house, that old blighted house down, and get that eyesore, get it out of the way. So as we continue to develop this county and continue to work on economic development, as we work to bring jobs here, to attract these companies here, then they don't need to be seeing this as they travel outside this county. They don't need to be seeing these blighted houses. We need to eradicate them. They need to be gone. They need to be over there in the landfill, and that's what we're doing. It's working, and we commend our solid waste department who handles that, and we will continue to help clean this county up and keep it clean. October, this month, it's Pride Month. We passed at the Physical Court meeting a proclamation setting out Pride Month. This is more than Pride Month. This is the month that Pike County, that we encourage the people in their homes to clean up their property. It's a time of year, if you're going to do any painting before winter, you got to get it done. And it is an opportunity for us to spruce up Pike County, to your property, your buildings, and we have some folks here on a work program that we have. And Commissioner Lyons came in the other day and said, Judge, if anybody out there that was involved in the flood in 2009 or 2010 flood, we had two floods back to back, year to year, that we have people here on a program, and that we need something for them to do. It's been extended, and if you got an old building and you're in the flood area that needs to be tore down and removed from your property, you need to call our solid waste program. Do you have that number for them?
432-6245.
432-6245 is to call and tell them that you're in the flood area and that you need to have a building tore down on your property and removed. They will come, tear it down, and remove it from your property at no cost. At no cost. Commissioner Lyons said they will take care of it and pick it up. They will take a dumpster out, a big one or a smaller one, and they put it in it. They'll pick it back up and get it over to the landfill.
And I believe their stay, Judge, has been extended to through December.
So we got ample opportunity between now and when snow falls, and to help clean our property up, and we have employees available, provided by a program that we brought into this county during the flood that has been extended.
Judge, every time you and I go out in the county, and I'm sure you do it when I'm not with you, you're blighted house spotting. You write down everyone you see, and then you meet, and then you call Mike Lyons. Two instances which I've been involved in that stick out is the house at Allegheny, the house at Blue Pond. The property owners were not only willing, they were excited to see this of course, and so are the neighbors and the entire community, because it's an eyesore, it's a health hazard, whatever. But the property owners seem to be more than happy to let the county come in and take these structures down.
Brandon, I'm on the health board, and we talked back when we started this program at the health board meeting that it is a health hazard. Plus, they are snakes and rodents in these old houses. You can't believe when they've gone out and taken the excavator to tear the house down that the snakes that would run out of these houses. Or when you would see them fall down and see the snakes who was even nesting up in the top of the ceiling of the house. I can remember going to a house up Marbone, and it was a long house. And when we walked through the house, I could hear something up in the top part of it before they tore it down. And we had walked in, and I said, "What in the world is that?" And they said, "It has to be a very large snake." So when they started tearing the house down, it was a very large snake. So this is a health hazard. They have the rodents in there. The health board supports this program, and it is something that that helps us dress up Pike County. And I know that when these young people see this, and that's the ones that has to be educated in regard to our solid waste program, and that when they see this and see their community being enhanced and the beauty of their community being enhanced, and I think every time that I think back when I was campaigning in 2006 and went to the head of Pond Creek, and I saw 3 beautiful homes, and then I saw 2 more homes that had fell in. When that was researched, we found that one of the families had moved to Michigan where they'd got a job and never did even come back. And then the other family tore the other house down themselves. But I can remember the kudzu house. Remember the kudzu house? The first one was taken down out of this program. You could not even see that house for the kudzu on top of it. And that house was a blemish upon a area, and we could tell that day, Brandon, what was going to happen with this program. But again, the number that you gave a while ago to solid waste, you need to give it out again to the folks, because I want to tell them that if you have a blighted house in your community, then you need to call this number.
432-6245.
And you need to report it. Then they will come out and take a picture on it. One of the monitors from solid waste or somebody from solid waste will take a picture. The Pike County Fiscal Court has hired a law firm, and that law firm said, "No, we're not going to charge you our normal fee. We're going to charge you a fee that you can afford, because we want to see this county cleaned up." What we do when we research those, it goes to the county attorney's office. They pass it on to the attorney the fiscal court has hired, and it takes him approximately 30 days. I think he has about 20-some cleared now, and as he puts them on the list, he clears them. Then it takes another 30 days because you have to advertise. Then it takes about 120 days, if I remember, is what they've told us. Yeah. From the date that we get it and they do the research, they get it to the county attorney, he passes it on to the attorney that's under contract with fiscal court. Then you've got your notices. Then you have to post it in the paper. You have to go to the newspaper and do it. And then under the Kentucky law, you have to post I think it's 4x8 that goes on this property and stays for 30 days and states that this property, this blighted house, is going to be removed and that a lien will be placed on it. So get involved. You want your property to be enhanced in your community. You want to have a more beautiful community. Get involved. Call and let us know. I do. When I go out in the county, when I spot a dilapidated trailer, a blighted trailer or house, I call immediately and get it on the list and start the process. everybody needs to get involved. This is their county. They love this county as much as we do, Brandon, the people out in this county, and help us clean it up. And this month is Pride Month. It's also Pike County Cleanup Month. We will be advertising a day later where you can haul into our 3 areas and you can haul into that if you are a customer of solid waste, and it don't cost you nothing to haul it in and dump it. So clean up your property, haul it into the lots, the 3 lots that we have, or over to the landfill and the transfer station at Turkey Creek, and clean your property up, haul it. It won't cost you any money to haul it and dump it.
Judge, you mentioned the kudzu house. We have a kudzu problem in this county.
Brandon raising that up because I wrote a letter to Commissioner Campbell, and matter of fact, he'll be here later. I don't know, it's on the calendar on another meeting. But Kentucky is a beautiful state. Kudzu is from Asia, and it was brought here because it was a quick growing, as we know how quick growing it is, it continues to vine out. But it was brought into the South, and then it was used in the mining area because it would stop erosion. What it's done is taken over, and it's a blight itself up on our beautiful mountains and roadways in Central Appalachia, and especially in Pike County, a large county as Pike County. I have asked the state to start a kudzu eradication program between natural resources and between the Kentucky Department of Transportation. We have done some research, and Brandon, you worked on this, researching it we found a company up in Bloomington, Indiana, that has a patent on something that will kill kudzu. Now, you know, over the years, they'd say you can't kill it out. But yes, now you can. So we've asked the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and there's 2 state agencies, and we need to make sure that Secretary Hancock gets a copy of that, what we send to Mr. Campbell, because we've asked that agency be involved. And that we clean this right-of-way up and get this kudzu removed. Is taken over, and I'm sure that the American Electric Power, Kentucky Power, and our telephone companies and our cable companies would be tickled to death if this program would start, because it's taken over their power line, telephone lines, and television cable as the years go by.
Well, from the research I conducted, it said only Georgia has more kudzu than Kentucky, and that's just because Georgia has a warmer climate. If our climate was warmer, they said we would be.
Well, and your research revealed that they have a kudzu eradication program, and that there are several states in the South that already has those type programs that we didn't know about. Now Kentucky needs to get involved, and we need to clean our roadways up. What a beautiful area that we have, one of the most beautiful areas in the United States. Our mountains are absolutely beautiful. People drive for miles to be in our mountains. The most friendly people we have. We are friendly to everybody that comes in here. We love our visitors. We are, a lot of us who have lived here, like Brandon Roberts, the Robertses, and the Blackburns, and all of us are 6th, 7th, and 8th generation. And our forefathers have had the hardships of making a living in these mountains, and a lot of them having to go under the boughs of these mountains and mine coal for a living, and in circumstances that was almost unbelievable and unbearable, and make very little money back in the early 1900s when the coal was discovered. But what a beautiful area we have. We are a great people. We are a friendly people. We are a God-loving people. We are in the Bible Belt. We always, and I always like to hear the former Senator Robert Byrd speak, because when he started most of his speeches, he would say, I am a child of Central Appalachia. I am blessed to be in the Bible Belt, And I am blessed to be in the most patriotic area in the United States when our Commander-in-Chief, the President, declares war. More people volunteer from Central Appalachia than anywhere in this country. So we are a blessed people here, and we have a beautiful area, and this is October. Folks, help us clean it up, help us keep it clean. We're glad for Pride and the job that our Pride Board does here. Our county employees, our road department, and our solid waste department is completely during the month of October. They will be cleaning up the streams and the hollows, and so what an opportunity it is for us.
Well, you mentioned the road to about the October being the busiest month of the breaks. There's also some effort toward improving that road toward the breaks too, as to encourage.
Well, the tourism, we know what's happened as we just got a grant. We got money for our severance tax money. We got some of it back. We paid 32% in. And the governor, Bashir, it was money, discretionary money the governor gave. He gave us $300,000 for a study. And we have a $170 million contract out. And the highway department, the transportation cabinet, they informed us the other day we would have my monthly meeting with them, and we discussed the fact that there will be one more contract out on 460 going into the breaks. And that contract will move more rock and dirt than the cut through. So it will be number 2 in this hemisphere, because the Panama Canal will be number 1. And number 2 will be that section of road at Jesse's Branch up to Elkhorn City, because they will move more rock and dirt than was moved in the cut through. So it will be, the cut through will be 3, and those cut throughs up there on that road building will be number 3 in the hemisphere of moving the cubic feet of rock and dirt on the project. But yes, we have a $33 million contract out beside the $170 million that's out. That's on the Virginia side. A Kentucky contractor got that. Mr. Carlton, our community development director, and I attended that groundbreaking up in the breaks. And that will be another tourist attraction for the Kentucky and Virginia State Park. It will be the tallest bridge in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it will be the longest bridge in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And that leads right now where you're going up to the breaks, to the Kentucky-Virginia breaks entrance, and where you cut off to go over where the golf course is, it'll come in right between that and have access from the new road. As you said, a lot's going on to enhance the Kentucky-Virginia Breaks Park. Also, that park purchased property in Kentucky, in Pike County, and right now you only have one overlook that's actually in Kentucky. But we know in past years that the Kentucky legislature always appropriated a certain amount of funds. For years, the Virginia legislature did not appropriate as much as they did the Kentucky legislature. So Kentucky has as much or more money in this park presently. But in Potter's Flats, they bought is in Pike County and in Kentucky, and down to Rattlers Hole, as they call it. You and Al was down there and saw how pretty that stream was, and that's where whitewater rafting comes down and takes place. But you've seen how that's been developed. They already have bathrooms built down there. They already have shelters built down there. They have campers everywhere. This year, in regard to the whitewater rafting, our Pike County tourism has been involved. And I received a call from a club in Lexington, and we had a problem of a location for them to camp at. They've always camped at it every year. And our tourism employees got involved and solved the problem for them. And so they get to go back and so they can enjoy it and not go to another whitewater rafting. You know, there's competition in that from other places in Virginia and in Tennessee. But we're going to be able to promote more our economic development through our Pike County tourism, and that's one of the things we'll be able to do. But as you said, a lot of things is happening to enhance the Kentucky-Virginia Breaks Park in the future, and that is development on the Kentucky side and also better access. They have 400,000 that come to that park every year. And the projection that I've seen with their water park that they have planned, and in talking to Chairman Jack Sykes, and talking to Mr. Tackett of Pike County Tourism, and talking to Mr. O'Quinn, looks like that's going to go up to about over 1 million people a year once that is done. But there's a lot going on, and in regard to economic development and tourism, and even the airport, the Pike County Airport, the airport which Pike County built up there, and then it was at that time the Pike County Airport because the city had withdrew from it, and then they came back in as a party to it, and it's Pike County Airport Board. But that construction going on is going to enhance tourism. It's going to make, Brendan, our golf course, the county golf course, Publink's golf course. It's going to have better access to it now, and you don't have to go up and around and off the hill. But we got the bridge built at Johns Creek Crossing, their new bridge there. Then we got put back on the 6-year plan, that road from the top of the hill where they just finished the cut through, going through, and that will enhance it, enhance our economic development. And we've rambled a little bit today, but on the main subject we've talked about today, it all comes back to a great county that we have, the people in it and the people that live here, how we treat our visitors, how we make Pike County a better place, how we attract jobs into Pike County. And as we hope to have some great announcements before too long. I'm still looking for 3 votes on the fiscal court to pass a payroll tax. We're going to have a payroll tax. Our severance tax is down. Last Sunday in the Lexington paper was a graph and a story of what the state is projecting our severance tax. We have been spoiled because we've had this severance tax for years and we have not had to have the 1%. Pikeville and these other communities, they can put on 2%. I've paid it ever since I've been in government.
I pay it.
You pay it, everybody pays it. And to the city of Pikeville, we work here, but we got to remember that we got to have revenue. We have cut to the bare bones. We've cut some 22 employees out. Now, that means that we've not filled positions, and I commend Judge Hayes, who handles that, and Brenda Dameron. They recommended to me back months ago, they saw this coming, and they didn't fill a lot of positions. But we're down to bare bones. We don't want to cut our road departments. We've got service to provide. We can't cut solid waste anymore. And Brandon, when you come down and if we have to pick up another $500,000, say based on the $2.3 million we had to come up this fiscal year, we can't provide the people services. So I'm still looking on this court, a progressive court, to understand. Knott County just got theirs. They was shut down. They had shut down everything they had but their senior citizens program and emergency road work. They cut off 40-some employees. So they have passed their tax. It's the only place we got to go. That's what Governor Patton told the fiscal court. You know, House Bill 44 froze the property tax to 4%. So we can't get money there. The only place they got to go is a payroll tax. It is not on people that do not, that if you draw a pension, you draw a disabled check, you draw a veterans check, it don't cost you nothing. If you live in Pikeville, you're paying it, and it goes not only on the payroll who works, it goes on the business people too, and that's fair. Would you want to put a 1% tax on a working man and not put it on a person out here that had a small business? No, it goes on both of them. It's fair. It's a fair tax, and that we have to do it. I'm like Magistrate Harris said the day we didn't pass it. The last thing he said was, we might as well be realistic. we're going to have to pass the payroll tax. Well, I think the time is getting close that the Pike County Fiscal Court is going to have to bite the bullet and going to have to put a payroll tax on, and then put these people back to work and start developing jobs in this county. And I know, and I'm talking to Rhonda, our finance director, the other day, and the city of Pikeville, since they've added 2 taxes recently, their budget of 6,400 people that they serve is larger than the Pike County budget now. And I mean, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable that we have a county, a great county, and that the city of Pikeville budget's now larger than the Pike County Fiscal Court.
I believe that leaves about, what, 58,000 that the county serves.
And yeah, the city of Pikeville only serves 1/10. You can figure it out. 1/10.
65,000 population.
Yeah, and they get severance tax directly, and they mine no coal, but under that act, they get severance tax, goes to them. They get a check, same as Elkhorn City, Coal Run, and them. They get a check under the law, under the statute. They get a check every year. And but we wish the city of Pikeville well. We can't control what they do. They got a government to run, and they make their best judgments to run it, and we have to do that ourselves too. But we have an obligation to serve all of Pike County, to serve it all, and that's what we do. That's what we're going to do in the future. And so we cooperate with the city. We work with the city when it's in the best interest of the people of Pike County and Pikeville. And when it's not, we'll take our stand and we'll move on. And it was their decision to take over to leave the tourism, the Pikeville Pike County tourism, and that's their decision. Just like when the Chamber of Commerce decided to do away with the Pike County Chamber of Commerce and put in another one. That's their decision. That's not our decision. And so, but what a great county we have. We have a great city, a beautiful city. We have a beautiful county. And a lot is happening at a time that we're in a dire economic recession in this country. We have $550 million worth of projects under construction in this one county today. So that means we are a progressive county.
And Judge, that's we'll leave it at that, and that's something we'll discuss, I believe, on our next show.
We're going to talk about energy, I think, at our next show, and I think that the people of this county will be absolutely surprised of what's going on our plan that we have, our comprehensive plan, and our energy plan, and that we are attempting to develop this county around our coal and natural gas. We're number 1 in coal. We're number 1 in natural gas. Matter of fact, if we were a state, we would be 10th in coal production in the country. And in natural gas, we produce 53% of all the natural gas in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Imagine that, more than all the other 119 counties. We're trying to develop this county. It'll be a very interesting show. Brandon and I talked yesterday and this morning, and I talked to Charles Carlton this morning about getting their research done, getting their film shot, get their pictures shot, and let the people of this county know that our future of developing this county around coal, and we can even talk about the coal that's left in the subsurface of this county, and we're blessed with even having the metallurgical coal. We'll talk about that they don't have even out west. They don't even have in western Kentucky coal fields.
Well, it was recently in the news where Governor Beshear met with President Obama, and that one of his main topic of discussion was to maybe convince him to ease off on attacking the coal jobs that are so vital.
Well, it's Obama's EPA that just about put us out of business in regard to surface mining, or mountaintop development, as we call it. They just don't understand. You know, if they don't like coal, turn their lights off. Don't use their electricity, because 50% in America use it. 96%, 96.7% of Kentuckians use it, and all the states around us runs about the same way. But the coal miner is not the villain. But we'll get into that at this next one.
I'm Brandon Roberts on behalf of Judge Wayne T. Rutherford. Thanks for watching the Pike County Report.